Hi everyone, so today we are going to learn what is wholesaling and what steps are required for you to succeed. So what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is a strategy that people use to invest in real estate. Like I said before, investing in real estate, it requires probably a way where you are as an active partner, or also you can act as a passive partner. In this case, the wholesaler is an active partner where the person needs to go and find a property which most of the case is distressed. That means that it requires some repairs, it doesn't look brand new. But at the same time, this person can talk with the seller, and the seller, let's say for example, the seller says, well, I want to sell this home, but probably for around 300. And the wholesaler said, well, what about if you sell the house to me for, let's say, 280? And then the person said, okay, I will sell my house for 280 to you. So you sign a contract agreement to purchase the home. The thing is, with that contract in your hand and already signed it with your seller, then you're going to sell this contract to a person who is the real buyer. I mean, you are buying it, but at the same time, you're not buying it. I don't know if you understand. The thing is, you have your contract. It is under, it is signed with the seller, but at the same time, before that you will need to have a network of people that they would like to buy this home. Maybe they would like to fix and flip, or maybe this investor would like to buy it, fix it, and then rent it. Who knows? There are so many opportunities. But the thing is, with this contract that you have in your hands, then you go and present it to the investors. And if there is any investor that they say, hey, my numbers work for this property for me to do, let's say a fix and flip, then you can assign the contract to this new seller, and to this new buyer, and then that's how you get paid. Because for example, you got the home under contract with the seller for 280, but then you're selling this assigned contract to the investor for 300, let's say. So that way you have like the difference between the 280 and 300 in this case is $20,000. So in that case is how you sell it to investor. The investor would like for you to help him, because that way he can find the properties that he can fix, and at the same time he will also gain or earn some money doing this. So that's the important. It's like the wholesaler is kind of the middleman, where it's between the seller and also between the investor. But the most important here is like you create a whole network of investors where you can present those properties for them. Because let me tell you, there are a lot of investors, but at the same time they are super busy because they don't have enough time to get the phone and start calling people with distressed properties. And if you present them the homes that are good and really going to gain some opportunity for investors, they will be very happy for you to help them with that. So that's a great way to do it. Okay, now let's talk about what are the steps that are required for you to wholesale a property. So the first step, and I know this is going to sound like, oh, but everyone says that, but it's true. The first step is educate yourself, because if you don't know how to do this, then it'll be a disaster, because then you can lose a lot of credibility, or you can lose a lot of money, or maybe you can get sued, and no one wants that. So the first thing that really you gotta do is you educate yourself. If you have a W-2 or a regular job, then in your spare time start learning how can I wholesale? What is this? What are the risks? What can I gain? Educate and learn all the stuff. And then when you're getting the feeling and then you're understanding how you can do this, then, because remember that each real estate subject or area, because there are so many, each of these areas has their lingo, has their concepts that you gotta understand. What is this? What is the word? What does it mean? Well, in this case with wholesaling, when you learn this stuff, I think the second step, in my opinion, is go and network. And what does this mean? Well, there are so many platforms where you can go outside out of your home, you need to start meeting people. You need to be outside. You need to show up, and not show up just one day. You need to go there. And let's see, for example, in Meetup, there is this app in your phone that the name is Meetup. And if you search for real estate network events, they're going to be different depending on the city that you're living. But when you go inside, you're going to see that, for example, there are 5 meetings in during the week, or this week there are going to be 6 meetings. Some of them will be for lunch and another ones will be for the dinner time, and it's usually in restaurants or places like this where people can get together. Well, you go and try to go to all of them to see which one you feel better, which one you get the best feeling from them. Like, what is the energy, how can you feel there? Are there people who really giving you value, or just people who's looking something from you? Find something, or find someone that you feel like they can give you value, that it can be a long-term friendship. When you go there, and then, for example, let's say that you like, from the 6 you like 3. Okay, are you able, or will you be able to go consistently to those 3 events? That's the real key here. Be very social, and at the same time be very consistent. Those keys are very important in real estate. Doesn't matter if you're wholesaling or doing another strategy, that's the most important: social and consistency. So go outside, show up. But for example, let's say that the meeting is on Mondays at 6 p.m. Go every single Monday at 6 p.m. because that's going to give you more credibility and more trust, and the people is going to start creating in you. So that way, when you bring any deal, they're going to say, hey, I trust this person because this person always show up. I have been getting conversation with this person. I know who is him. So remember, in real estate, we make business with people that we know, with people that we trust, okay? And yeah, after that, the third step is when you start looking for the distressed properties. And in this case, how can you find them? Well, there are different ways how can you find them. But at the same time, there is, I'm going to say what I have done, and for me, I've been working. I'm not a wholesaler. Remember, I'm a real estate licensed agent in Texas. But I think this strategy that I have used, I think is going to benefit you as well. So when you're going to find a property, remember that you can go around with your car. I think that's the easiest but kind of harder one, that you can go around in your car to check all the neighborhoods around, which house looks not that good, or which house it looks like a vacant and no one has been living there for a couple days, a couple years, a couple months. And then you can send them some letter. You can write with your hand a letter and then mail it to the person, to see if the person will be able to sell it, or would like to sell it. That could be one, but the other one is also start doing some phone calls. There are so many people that are doing phone calls. This company that I'm going to mention is not something that I'm not getting anything from this company. It's just something that I use, and it worked for me, and maybe it will work for you too. So the name of this company is Mojo Dialer. So here, well, remember, this is going to be a paid strategy, but they're going to give you all the numbers of all the people who are all around, whichever city would you like to see. They have the information of the homeowners, the phone numbers. Even if they don't live in that home, you can also look for the address where they are currently living. Of course, like any other dialer, they're going to have, for example, let's say you look for one house and there are, let's say, for example, one person, but at the same time, it's going to be maybe 5 or 10 different phone numbers. And maybe from those 5 or 10 numbers, one of them is going to be the owner. So most of these cases, you gotta call a lot. And most of these, you will need to create a strategy how to do this faster. If you even want to do it even faster, I mean, in the way that, because sometimes the phone calls can take you a lot of time, but with the dialer you can make like around 200 calls each 2 hours, something like that. It depends on how focused you are, but you can do it, because I have done it. And then if you do that and you call and you talk with the person, well, like cold calling is not something that is super great in the way that everyone is going to answer you with a nice voice. No, because when you call someone that the person don't know you, of course they're going to be a little afraid, because there are so many scams where we receive so many calls from so many people that we don't know, that people get rejected. They reject those calls. So expect that. But if you don't like nothing of that, then you can also do door knocking if you don't like that. But the thing is, with wholesaling, and I'm being super honest, because it's not something that is going to be like the easiest things to do. I mean, the easiest thing is just first to change your mindset. If you really want to make this happen, you gotta look for the yes, because so many people is going to say no. And let's say, for example, 100 people is going to say no, but one of them is going to say yes. And let's see that just one person per month say yes. So that means that for you, that yes, that it might be one of your assigned contract that you can sell. It might be possible, depending on the negotiation that you also do, depending on how good you can find the investors to sell the contracts. Then you might probably get like a $10,000 per month, or maybe more, no, depending on how skilled you are in this and this. But usually it's like that. The people go and drive around, they send the letters, the door knocking, they call. But like I say, if you want to be even more okay, and now even you can hire a VA, or in another word is a virtual assistant. And this virtual assistant can help you making the calls. And you're going to say, hey, but she's going to charge me. Yes, but wait, because if you're looking Upwork or the other website is Fiverr, then they're going to charge the prices are different. But I have seen some that they charge like $5 per hour. And let's say that you find one that is charged $5 per hour because live in another country and the currency for them, having $5 per hour is amazing. So why not? You're helping someone as well. So when you do that, then the person, you do the interview and you feel like she can show you like, hey, I have worked in this, I have experience doing that, because they are going to call a lot, and the same thing that will happen to you, that those funds are going to get rejected, for the person is going to be the same. So you gotta be someone that have a lot of patience. So when you find that person, then let's say that, for example, you say, hey, just work 2 hours, 2 hours per day, and do the phone calls. Let's say, for example, in the 2 hours, try to make 100 calls or 200, depending. Try first, so that way you can understand the person, right? And then let's say, for example, 100 calls, and then the person make it, so in the week it'll be 500 calls, but that means that it's like 2 hours per day per 5 days, so it's 10 hours. So the 10 hours in the day that you're not putting, that someone else is putting. But let's say that in the whole month you receive one yes, and from that yes, depending on your skills, of course depending on you, because now you're going to be the one who's going to negotiate the contract, assign the contract, sell the contract to the investor, you gotta do all the stuff. And then if you make it happen, let's say, for example, let's continue with the same example, that you make $10,000. If you make this $10,000 and you just only pay it was like, for example, $200 in the month from your VA, so that means that you keep like 9,800, and you pay your virtual assistant 200. So that's a good investment, in my opinion, because at the same time, time cannot be recovered, but with the money you can recover it, but time, it never comes back. So that is another strategy that you can use. And the people who is really serious, they are doing it, and I know they're doing great, because not only you can sell those assigns or that information from the home that this person is selling this, you can also, besides the investors, in the investor that you meet in the networking, but it might be someone that needs a realtor. So you say, hey, I have this person, can you pay me like a marketing fee, because I'm helping you finding clients. So that also helps, right? Because the investor is also, the investor is going to make money, the realtor is going to make money, everyone, and you are helping them finding those homes. So that is a good thing to do there. You just gotta be social and consistent. Those are keys in real estate. Well, remember, if you're finding some value in this information, please like and subscribe here in this video. And if you have any question, please let me know. I am Helen Gibson, a realtor here in Austin, Texas, and I would like to say something that, well, like I said before, I am not a wholesaler, but I work and I network with wholesalers, and at the same time I network with investors, because I'm also in real estate, and I have found a way how I love, because depending on how the person would like to invest their money or their time, everyone has their choice, but I have seen that investing in apartment buildings has been an excellent way also that you can create not only cash flow, but also the return on the investment is very big, and all, but it depending on the deal, depending on how many apartments and depending how big it is, the building, and so the returns can be made, it could be double, usually it's double of the investment that you do. And also you can create wealth. It's not only for you, because it's also going to be for your family and friends. And if you would like to know more information about how to invest in apartment buildings that we are doing, I have a team where we are doing it here in Texas. We have some apartments in Texas, in Florida. We also have in Atlanta, and we are looking for other states like Tennessee, North Carolina as well. All of that. The thing is, if you would like to learn, we have a group. It's a Zoom meeting. It's totally free for the people who would like to learn more about this. If you click one of the link, I'm going to leave the information here down below. If you would like to learn more about this, or talk with me, or like, hey Helen, what is that about? Because there are people that like to be the active investors in real estate, or people who is very active looking for the deals, looking, but there is also another kind of people that they don't want to keep looking, or sometimes they get so tired of doing wholesaling that they would like just to have passive income. So instead of looking and putting all the effort, now the money is also, but you can do both, no? While you're working, your money can also work for you, or you just put your money to work for you. You just gotta understand how to do it and what are the risks, because this is very transparency. We with my team that we do apartment buildings, we are super transparent, and we can teach you everything. But remember, you are the one who takes the decision, and we're also going to show you all the numbers, everything. So if you would like to know more information, would you like to assist to the Zoom calls and learn what are we doing, and learn about our team, I'm going to leave here the description down below. And yeah, I hope you like this video, and then you can, and I really hope that you find some value here. Okay, thank you so much. And in the next video, my idea is to teach you how to do the numbers in the wholesaling, and that way you can sell those assigned contracts to the investors. Thank you and have a great day.
Lelo Play Music.
Die out too hard. But we were traveling mountains just to find out.